My appeals case for text messages is officially concluded. I'm going to show you exactly how that shook out. I'm also going to show you how they're already violating the rule by the Office of Open Records and why that is shaping up to cost us even more money. Let's talk about it. Wester Steve here. Thank you for joining. Let's talk about text messages again. I'm not going to get into detail this time because we have talked about this in a little more depth in a previous video. And if I remember, I will put that in a link down below. So the short of it is this. In February, I put in a request for text messages that discuss township business between our supervisors and our township manager. We won that appeal and they were required to disclose those messages. There was some back and forth about the quality of messages that they gave us. I'm going to show you the quality of those messages right now. It's pretty terrible. I don't know how else to say it. And come on, guys, purposefully, terribly generated for the public to view. They're angry. They fought this with their lawyers and they lost. And so when they did disclose it, they kind of pouted and stomped and gave us the least valuable text messages as possible. Okay, whatever. And in the end, it played out that, yes, we're 100% entitled to see text messages that are discussing township business. Those are public record, and those must be disclosed, and they have been. And a lot of the stuff that I brought up about accountability really didn't play with the Office of Open Records at this time. But the win there is that I'm on the record as saying that there is a problem with transparency and their willingness to disclose records to the public. So be it. It's out there now. So yeah, so we got our final decision. It's kind of how I expected it to play out. I'm satisfied because we got what we asked for. It's not beautiful, but we got what we asked for. After the township produced the records back in July, I put in another request because now a lot of time has passed and I want to see the new records that have been produced since we put in our initial request. So let's look at the denial that we received because this request was indeed, again, denied, which is kind of amazing. Part 2A of this letter is essentially the reasoning behind the denial for text messages. And it gives us 4 paragraphs here. And essentially what it's saying is that your request for text messages regarding, quote, township business is insufficiently specific. And they go on to say that the Office of Open Records has found that a substantially similar request was insufficiently specific. But West Deer Township is ignoring the fact that the Office of Open Records just ruled on this against them. Do they think that that's not going to be problematic for them? Now, as I'm reading this denial language seems similar to something I've heard before. Let's take a look at the previous request I put in. What you see on your screen here is the original denial. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a screen copy and I'm going to grab all of the text here from it. I'm going to paste it into ChatGPT and I'm going to ask ChatGPT to extract the text. There you go. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to put this in here. This is Diff Checker. There's a number of utilities online that are free that you can use to compare text. And now I'm going to do the same thing with our most recent denial. I think I have everything in place now. On the left, you see the original denial, paragraph 1, paragraph 2, paragraph 3. And on the right, you see the most recent denial, paragraph 1, paragraph 2, paragraph 3. I had to move one paragraph down and another paragraph up just so that the specific paragraphs that we're comparing line up. And we're going to find the differences. Okay. So the way you read this is there are two documents being compared. That's the red side versus the green side. And if something is highlighted darker, that is unique to that particular document. So if we look at the original denial over on the left in red and compare it with the most recent denial on the right, you see that everything in the first paragraph was just copy and pasted with very, very minor change at the top here that they made. Paragraph 2, again, copy and pasted. This is boilerplate. And paragraph 3. They're using boilerplate language to deny a request that they just got ruled against using these exact same arguments, which means they're completely ignoring the Office of Open Records and they're still just doing their own thing. It's completely wrong and it violates the Sunshine Act. Whoever else makes the same request or a similar request and gets denied using the same boilerplate language, they're going to have no idea that there's precedent unless they do a lot of digging. And they're counting on that. What's going to end up happening here is I'm about to file an appeal. I'm going to cite my own appeals case. And they're going to hire their lawyers again, and they're going to fight against sharing public records that they've been told they have to maintain and keep because they're public records. And they're going to fight against sharing them again. What a waste of money. If you go and talk to Dan Mader and you talk to Bev Jordan, they're going to tell you, I would imagine, how much money I'm wasting of the township. This shouldn't cost anything. And it should now be particularly inexpensive because they know the law. They've been instructed on what they're supposed to do when somebody requests this. And they're just ignoring it and hiring lawyers again to defend against the exact same request. And I want you to know, these aren't petty requests. There's reasons behind the request. So tonight, I will be putting in my second appeals case with the Office of Open Records. Something I did not think I would have to do, but they insist on ignoring the decision made by the Office of Open Records the first time. And they're going to have to justify why they continue to do so. And I think it's going to be difficult for them, but we'll see. I'm not a big person for telling people to like and subscribe. It's just not my style. But I will tell you that if you want to follow this saga into the future, please subscribe. It is also, realistically, a free way that you can help my channel grow. And I would appreciate that. So, stay tuned, everybody. More to come. See ya.